Notation of a word is when you are able to find the meaning of that word in the dictionary. All right. And when that happens, that word is said to have been used literally. The connotation of a word is when the meaning of the word cannot be found in the dictionary. And when that happens, we say that the word is used figuratively. Now, there are a number of figurative devices in English literature, and you'll learn most of them as we go throughout the school year. But for today, our focus will be on similes and metaphors. Whenever you describe something by comparing it to something else, students, it's very important for you to know it is important for you to note that you are using figurative language. Now you will find, students, that as we go throughout today's lesson, similes and metaphors are almost the same. There's very little that differentiates the two. Let's look at this example of figurative language here. You're a weasel. It doesn't necessarily mean that you are the actual animal. It just means in that particular context that you're sneaky or you're a liar. In English language, we always encourage students to vary their words, not just in using synonyms, but also in using the different figurative language that will bring out either imagery or tone within a particular piece. So this example, as wise as an owl, it's in a particular paper, it is more effective than saying he was very smart. So it's just a different way of saying something. It's very important that as writers, especially when you move to your English language class, that you use figurative devices in your writing. Now, I'm sure we've all heard some of these figurative sayings before. I can read you like a book. You're a firework. What a couch potato. As brave as a lion. And we know that if we're saying that someone is as brave as a lion, we're saying that that person is fearless. If we're saying that we can read someone like a book, we have an understanding of how that person is. Okay? Now for today, we're going to look at similes and metaphors. So similes, or a simile, is a comparison, students, of two unlike things using the words like or as. Okay, so let's look at some examples. I have been working like a dog. I am as white as snow. They fight like cats and dogs. This paper is as light as a feather. And I am as free as a bird. Metaphors now. A metaphor now is still a comparison between two unlike things. But unlike the simile, a metaphor does not use like or as, okay? So the cat is a shadow. My brother is a chicken. The highway was a parking lot. My teacher is a driver. So what we have here now, students, is two unlike things being compared to create an image or to create a description of what a personality is, or what a particular environment is like. For example, the highway was a parking lot. With that being said, we can automatically assume that the writer, is trying to allude to us that the traffic on the highway was so bad that cars weren't able to move because of it, okay? Now I'm going to display a few practice scenarios or examples of either similes or metaphors. I want you to determine if it is simile or metaphor. But before we do that, remember that a simile is a comparison between two unlike things using like or as, and a metaphor is just a comparison between two unlike things. Let's go. All the world's a stage. The world is a stage. Is that a simile or a metaphor? It's a metaphor. The test was as difficult as nailing jelly to a tree. Is that a simile or a metaphor? It's a simile. The best friends are like two peas in a pod. Is that a simile or a metaphor? That's a simile. Ben's temper was a volcano. Is that a simile or a metaphor? It's a metaphor.